Hello, I'm Derek with LumenCache, and I really want to thank Town Gas for hosting this event. And for that reason, I'm going to start off with an entertaining video that I recorded a couple of years ago between myself and a policymaker in the US. And this particular video discusses the next big wave in what's going to be most beneficial to the world with respect to smart power and smart energy. And you talk about people, product, and patent, of course, and the amazing patent that we came up with that's approved around the world that allows this type of platform to occur, even enables the business model. So I want to present this to you because it's a $200 billion per year opportunity, and I'm very excited to be presenting it in particular to Town Gas. So I look forward to hearing from all of you and hope you enjoy the presentations. Thank you.
I met Rick Perry. So Governor Perry was the Secretary of Energy, and he came out to Beijing, and there was an event out there. And what's cool is that he was going to stop by for a half hour to do a photo op with the U.S.-China joint venture group that I'm in. And so he walks in and he goes, kind of walks over to the tall suits, as I call him. And he's like, "Oh, how are you? Oh, you're from Texas. Nice to meet you. How are you?" And everything. And he walks over to me, and and I, I said to him, "Hey, welcome to China. I saw something in the shower this morning that reminded me of Texas." And he looks at me like that, and I showed him a picture on my phone, and it was literally a picture I took of the water faucet, and it said hot water and Colt water, C-O-L-T. They misspelled it. It happens all the time here in China. So he gets this big laugh out of that, and then, but what's funny is when we took the picture, everybody's lining up. And in China, you kind of wait to be seated. It's kind of like this game where you shuffle the most important people get in the center. And so the seat next to him is open. He's like, "Hey, Derek, here, come here, come here." And so for about another 15, 20 minutes, he's just chatting with me about things. And we talked about these kinds of things. I said, he says, "Well, what do you think about micro nukes?" I'm like, "Well, they're cool. Nuclear facilities, you can spin them up quickly and you can decommission them relatively quickly because, solar power is done. It's mature. It's here. It's all DC. Batteries enable solar because when you have batteries attached with solar, now you can make it through the night and you've got, a full replacement for what we had before." And so now all of a sudden you've got this whole DC infrastructure starting to grow because it works. It's the cheapest power. He goes, "Yeah, we're doing a lot of that in Texas." I'm like, "I know you. I watched what you did with wind and solar. It's amazing." So, but I said, by the time, so I said for micro nukes, by the time they spin up, it's almost going to be replaced. And sure enough, if you notice, that's their trajectory. Well, the interesting thing about batteries and solar is that in order to enable low cost batteries and solar, you need demand management. And so the demand management, now you're getting into the devices in the home. So all the smart products that AV installers and smart home companies install, the CEDIA people, that's the big next wave after batteries. Those devices must interoperate. They have to communicate with each other. And lighting was the first piece of that. That's why I did it. What's really funny is when people ask, why I did LumenCache, it has nothing to do with lighting. It actually has to do with making an infrastructure in homes that's not wireless, therefore it's reliable and works all the time. And by having that infrastructure in there where you have sensing at just about every node and a little bit of control at every node, you can do AI. So we can have like true machine learning, true, integrated systems where the utility company is talking to this thing and it says, "Hey, would you mind cutting back like 5%? And LumenCache, for example, can cut back on the lights just a tiny bit. And the user doesn't even know it. It's that small of a difference in the light output, but it's enough to keep a power grid from going down. So demand management is like the next big wave of things that's going to occur. And so all of these things, again, they kind of fold right into what your argument is with the legislators. It's like, you've got to have trained, educated people able to put these systems in. Inherently, they're safer because the factory, for the most part, is designing them. If the factory isn't, then the UL certification on it wouldn't be on there, right? And if anything,
Right.
if anything, you should go after the certification. You can say, okay, if you are a system that's predefined, pre-designed in the factory and is simply assembled in the field, then no problem. Anybody, homeowners should be able to put this thing in.